Hello, everybody. Hi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are here joining us live, please go ahead and put something in the chat. Say hello. Tell me where you're
Hello,
from.
everybody. Hi.
Sorry, I forgot to turn the volume off. So, first of all, welcome all of you here. I am so glad to have you here today. This is our first official YouTube live, so I'm quite excited. It is being recorded, so there are several people I know that plan on watching the recorded version, and if that is you, welcome. I have not had the privilege of meeting everybody watching today, so let me take a second to introduce myself. I'm Joanne Swenson, CEO and founder of Olivia Bell, and I'm going to share with you a little bit about my company, but more so, we are going to discuss the lifestyle wellness audit, and that is also lovingly known as how to not feel like shit all the time, because this is what I've got to say is I come in contact with so many people that tell me, oh my God, I'm not sleeping well. Every time I eat something, I get an upset stomach, or I feel lethargic on a regular basis. And so I created Olivia Bell as a way to help people navigate lifestyle changes that they need to make in order to feel better. So, without further ado, we are going to launch right into our program. And oh, by the way, I am streaming this on through Zoom, which means there's a bit of a delay between the chat and when I can see it. So if you ask a question, just give me a second or two to respond, probably more like 30 seconds based on the way this is going. And I'll be happy to answer your questions. I do have some questions and that I'll do at the end. So if you want to save your questions until the end, that would be fantastic. And it'll just make it easier for me to see them all. So I'm going to share my screen here and we're going to get started. So Olivia Bell is a comprehensive lifestyle wellness company specializing in holistic wellness, stress management, herbal solutions, and energy healing. And these are all things that are really important to me and close to my heart. My goal is through my company to help people take back control of their health through a proactive and holistic approach. We focus on the interconnectedness of our mind, body, spirit, and our environment to work toward holistic healing and to find interconnectivity in our lives and everything that we do. So here's me. My name is, I go by Joe, so feel free to call me Joe. I'm the CEO and founder, but I'm also an integrative health coach, an herbalist. I'm a Reiki healer and a dog mom. And quite possibly you will hear the dogs barking in the background because that's just what they do. I put music for dogs on, but I can't guarantee one of them won't hop over the baby gate and come join us later. So just so you can get an idea of who I am and what my story is, I come from a family that has a lot of autoimmune diseases. And I realized years ago that the lifestyle I was living, so how I was living my life, was actually making me sick. So I needed to find a way to not go down that path. So the wake up call gave me a push to create this company. I have been doing years and years of research. I started getting sick when I was in my 20s. I am 56 years old now. So I have spent this last 36 years researching and trying different different wellness methods. And I found herbalism, which I started practicing in my mid 20s. And then I discovered the magic of Reiki. Some people think I've lost my mind because it is about energy and it's something that's different for everybody. So let's take a minute and just digest that for a second. Energy is the ability for us to really just pay attention to what's going on in our body. Our bodies do it all the time when we're sick. For instance, if you have an upset stomach, you're going to have all the energy inside your body is going to that stomach to try to help make it feel better. But Olivia Bell was created to be a sanctuary for people, as a place to come, a safe space, so that we can look at a whole person approach. And that all of this is not something that I've made up. Please understand, this has been around for thousands and thousands of years. A lot of the herbalism that I have been learning for the past year and a half, I've been taking an herbal medicine course. These things were around during the ancient Romans and the Greeks and the Egyptians. So before modern medicine, people practiced herbalism. So here's Olivia and Bella. They are my babies. So they're who I named Olivia Bell out of. They're my first rescue dogs. And when I tell you they turned my world upside down, I am not exaggerating. They did it for the better, but my world was turned upside down. And they taught me what unconditional love is. So I purposely named the company after them as my heartfelt tribute for all the love and happiness that they brought me. And now I want you to meet Miss Ellie. So Ellie is our newest rescue. She's a force to be reckoned with. But just like Ellie, I have learned so much. And so my goal today is for you to take away 12 small changes that you can start immediately, that you can implement into your life to help make yourself happier and healthier. So that is my goal to do with you today as we work through the lifestyle wellness audit. There comes a moment for all of us when we start to question ourselves, our lives, how we're feeling. What are we doing that's making us feel like shit? Why do you keep going to the doctor for something and they tell you, hey, you know what? Guess there's nothing wrong with you. It's all in your head. So the question is, what can you do to make yourself feel better? One of the things that people have a lot of in their life is stress. Stress, when it manifests itself physically in our body, will cause us to feel ill. It will cause us to have aches and pains. And so what I tell a lot of people, and this is going out on a limb here, is work-life balance is bullshit. It's a source of stress that we do not need. If any of you have tried to establish or get work-life balance, say so. Put it in the chat, let me know, nod your head, because guess what? It's causing undue stress for you. Work-life balance doesn't exist because we have to do something better. And that something better is to work in harmony. There are parts of our life, I call them the 4 pillars of lifestyle wellness, which is mind, body, spirit, and environment. And those 4 things work in harmony together because small changes can have big results. That's where the interconnectedness of the lifestyle wellness pillars comes into play. And so we're going to focus on how to achieve harmony in our life through our lifestyle choices. So here are the 4 pillars of lifestyle wellness. This is mind, body, spirit, and environment. So we're going to focus a little bit on our mindset and how that helps achieve harmony. Because guess what? When you start feeling negative and thinking negative thoughts, it's going to affect your body. It's going to affect your spirit. And your house is probably going to look like you turned a truck upside down. I really hope that through this process, you guys can take away something important for you. So I created this masterpiece and I call it the Lifestyle Wellness Wheel. I actually created it on a plane. Don't ask me where I was going to or coming from. I don't really remember. I came up with this on a plane. And what it is, by the way, the link, I pinned a link in the description box that has this. If you want to get it, you can. If you're watching the recording, it's going to be down in the description box, the link to get the wellness wheel. And it's a way for you to rank how you're feeling in these different sections. So for instance, the mind section is made of mindset, meditation, and journaling. And you're going to rate yourself 1 to 10 in each category there. I'm going to take nature. That's an easy one. So if you are spending a dedicated 10 hours a week, right? That's 2 hours a day. You're a 10. You are off the charts. If you're spending 10 minutes a day, but that's all you can get in, that's still a 10. The question is, are you making nature, time in nature, a priority for you? If you're not, if you can do better, then rate yourself a little bit lower. And I want you to do that for each category that's in the lifestyle wellness wheel, because this is how we see where stress is negatively impacting our life. It helps us recognize where we can make changes, and also the interconnectedness between our life. And I'll give you an example. Mindset. Again, if you have a negative mindset, if you have a really poor internal dialogue, it's going to affect the way that you eat, the amount of movement that you get. It's going to affect the way you interact with people and probably the condition of your home. Because when you see things negative, it impacts all areas of your life. So we're going to take each section one by one. If we look at mind, this is your self-talk. Are you having negative self-talk? What is your internal dialogue? I know I have gone through times in my life where I have not thought really highly of myself. And through the research and the workshops that I've taken, I learned a lot that how I think about myself and the things I say to myself, it's huge. So somebody said to me, hey, is this something you would do? You would say to your best friend? And the answer for me was, no, I've never talked to my best friend that way. So the question got turned around to me is, well, then why do you talk to yourself that way? So one of the takeaways is I want you to start thinking positive thoughts about yourself. The second thing I have on here is meditation. When I first started learning about meditation, I really thought it was some sort of hippie thing that people did or that were members of a cult. I really didn't understand what meditation was. And the more I started learning about it, what it does is it helps reduce the noise in our heads. I have driven to work. Let me know in the chat if this is you. I've driven to work without the radio on and realized I didn't notice the radio wasn't on because there was so much chatter in my head. If you take 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day to meditate, it will really change you and how you feel. It's always for the better. So meditation is what actually is called a contemplative practice. It's a mind-body exercise that helps you focus your attention and awareness to develop inner well-being. So think of prayer. If you're taking time during the day to pray, that's a meditation. If you're actually sitting down and doing yoga, breath work, that's all a form of meditation. It allows you to have a focus on yourself and what is going on around you. I meditate during the week when I come home for lunch. I am lucky enough to work 7 minutes from my house. So I come home for lunch. I let the dogs out. I go sit in the backyard and I meditate. So I'm accomplishing two things on the lifestyle wellness wheel at this point. I'm establishing time in nature and meditation. And what I do is pretty simple, and you can do this too. Go sit outside or go sit somewhere for a few minutes and breathe. Deep inhale, deep exhale. So if we all do that now, everybody taking a deep, deep breath, and hold it, and then slowly let it out. And when you do, relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, unclench your hands. Do that a couple of times, and then sit and listen. When you're outside, listen to the world around you. It's amazing. You will hear sounds you did not notice before because you had so much going on in your head. There was so much noise in your head that you didn't hear the birds. And oh, wait, there's 3 types of birds out there. So it's really important that you take time to try to do that every single day. And the last thing is journaling. I have friends that love to journal. I journal, I collect journals. This lovely journal, my sister lovingly bought me when she was in Italy, and it is beautiful. I love this journal. I'm not going to use it as a journal. I'm going to use it for something else because my form of journaling is I don't want to go back and look at the things I write down. Journaling is a way for you to get out your feelings and emotions. I was listening to a podcast not too long ago. I don't remember if it was Rich Roll or Diary of a CEO, but the guest that the presenter had on said their form of journaling was to write down in the morning. I think they took about 5 minutes. They wrote everything down that was in their head, all the bad stuff, all the feelings, all the whatever it's anxiety, sadness, whatnot. They wrote it all down and then they burned the paper or they threw it away. That is a wonderful form of journaling. For you, voice notes might be the way to go about it. I've done that too, where I've taken voice notes and then I just delete them. But I get everything out. So that way I'm not taking out my anxiety, my anger, my bad feelings out on somebody else. The next part of the wellness wheel is body. This is our second pillar. When we talk about body, we talk about how are we treating ourselves. How do you treat your body? Are you eating like shit? Is it a garbage in, garbage out kind of thing? Are you getting dedicated movement every day? And I ask that because I'm not saying you have to, join a CrossFit gym, but you need to have some form of movement. And everything that we do is going to show up in our health, in our numbers, in the measurements. So for nutrition, I do not force people when I work with them or when I'm educating them to find one type of meal, one type of diet, one type of way of eating, because everybody's going to eat their own thing. I love a good cheeseburger and fries. So I'm going to eat cheeseburgers and fries. But I'm not going to eat it every day. I'm going to eat that once a month. That's my thing. All the other times I'm eating a plant-centered diet. And when I talk about plant-centered, that means if you're going to have a steak, potatoes, and green beans, I want you to have more vegetables than you are steak, because that's where the health is going to be, in the green beans. Potatoes can be healthy unless you're adding a bunch of fat, oils, and salt to it. So think about what you're eating. So I encourage people to eat plant-centered. It goes right in line with the Mediterranean diet. And if you've ever had the privilege of traveling to Europe and seeing the way they eat on the Mediterranean coast, it's the same thing. Plants should be your center, and your meats and your fats should be the side dishes. Movement, again, dedicate 10 minutes a day to moving. I don't care if that's 10 minutes of just cleaning your house, walking around, picking things up, putting them away. That is a takeaway for you. That is something you can start doing. And then health. These are your numbers. That's your A1C, your blood pressure, cholesterol numbers. But there's another number I want to share with you, and that is your waist to hip ratio. For women that are perimenopausal or in menopause, or women over the age of 35, this number is key for you. So the waist to hip ratio is that you take your waist measurement, you take your hip measurement, and you divide it, dividing the waist by the hip. What you're looking at for women, and I'm going to focus on women right now, if your waist circumference is 31.5 inches or more, you're at an increased risk of health complications. If your waist to hip ratio is more than 0.85, you're also at a risk for serious health complications. And those types of things are going to be an increased A1C, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, premature death. But if you can reduce your waist to hip ratio, you are going to increase the likelihood of greater health benefits. So that's something I would love women to focus on. And your takeaway from this is going to be measure yourself. Measure your waist, measure your hip, and figure out what your ratio is. That is really important for good health. The third pillar in the lifestyle wellness wheel is going to be spirit. And I'm not necessarily talking about spirituality. That might be it for you, and that's fantastic. But what I'm talking about is your internal spirit. Positivity, gratitude, and community are really important to make sure we have a positive spirit. And what that means is, how many positive encounters do you have a day with people around you? If your answer is not that many, then I want you to find a way to laugh every day. And I'm talking the deep belly laughter, the kind that makes you want to pee your pants, because that is going to be important for your positivity, for your spirit. I have a friend that when she gets the big belly laughing, she turns a really dark red, and she crosses her legs and she can't stop laughing. Tears are running down her face. That's the kind of laughter I'm talking about. And it's something we can all do. Watch something on Netflix, watch a comedy special, have inside jokes with your friends, start giggling, doing whatever you need, but make sure you're having positive encounters. The next thing is gratitude. I have a friend who has a gratitude journal. She loves it. And you know what? I think that's a beautiful thing. But for me, I don't want to have a gratitude journal. It's to me, it's a lot of work. So what I do is I have a gratitude practice every night before I go to bed. And what that gratitude practice is as I'm laying in bed, I have three things that I do. The first thing is, what am I grateful for today? What am I grateful for that happened today? Because when I focus on that, then guess what? I'm going to have a better quality sleep as opposed to focusing on all the things on my to-do list that I should have already done. Focus on gratitude. That could be also sending thank you letters, thank you notes, a text message when you're thinking about somebody. That's huge. And the next thing is community. So if you have regular social interactions, you have a good circle, whether it's a run group or some church people that you like to hang out with, or maybe you're taking some fitness classes and you've made friends with that group of people and they're a positive community. I think that's wonderful. I think everybody should do that, but not everybody does. There's so many people that are just negative people, and you being around them is going to bring out negativity for us. So go through your phone, go through your social medias, and get rid of 5 people that are toxic, people that bring you down, that don't lift you up, because members of your community should lift you up. That is what community is, and that's how it impacts our spirit. And the final pillar for the lifestyle wellness is environment. For those of you that don't know, I have a master's degree in global sustainability. So the environment and the earth is very important to me. And it ties in with my herbalism practice as well. But I'm not just talking about the environment as far as Mother Nature. I'm also talking about the environment for your home. If you have a home that is minimal and clean, and you walk in and every day you're like, whoa, I feel fantastic. Great. Have at it. The rest of us are struggling with something, whether that's be one junk drawer became 5 junk drawers, or maybe our closet, we couldn't find something to wear today. So now our closet is all over our bed. And we walk in and we're like, oh shit, okay, I got to do something. Your home should be a sanctuary. Your bedroom should be set up for optimal sleep. It's not a place for the dog toys, human toys, for children. It's not meant for your entire closet or your shoe collection. Your bedroom should be a sanctuary. So if that's not something for you, it's something that you need to work on, because making your home environment positive, smelling good, being clean, being easy to look at, you're on board with that. That's going to help you have a better outlook. It's going to directly impact what you're eating, because you're not going to feel overwhelmed and then reach for the Oreos. Not that I would do that, but you know what I mean, right? Sustainability. So sustainability has to do with how you're living your life with regards to the products you're bringing in, the food that you're eating. Do you have a lot of food waste? Can you cut back on the amount of food that you're buying? You know, we have a store here called Publix, and they've got great BOGOs, but if you don't do a buy one, get one for a product, if that's not the product that you are eat on a regular basis, don't buy it. It's just going to take up room in your cupboards. So, and then if it's fresh food, are you going to eat it all in the time frame before it goes bad? Those are things I want you to look at. You know, the chemicals that are in our shampoos and our household cleaners, the toxins. Become more aware and cognizant of that, and find out, you know, how does that affect me? I know the doctor that I'm learning herbal medicine from is she's on the going to share a lot of things with people about plastic, and she got rid of all of the plastic spoons and spatulas and cooking utensils, because over time the plastic breaks down and it leaches into our food, so it's not healthy for us, and that will help lead to health problems. It'll help lead to weight gain. It's an endocrine disruptor, which means it affects our endocrine system. And for some women, they have a hard time getting pregnant because of that. I know that seems kind of simplistic. There's a lot more to it than that. And I would love the opportunity to share that with you if it's something that you want to learn about. But I don't want to get too far in the weeds on that, because I can talk about that for hours. So I want to focus on nature. Again, are you spending time in nature regularly, whether that's going for a walk after dinner, or going to the beach or the mountains on a hike, taking the dogs for a walk, whatever it is, I want you to dedicate 10 minutes to nature every single day. So we are getting ready to wrap this up. And what I wanted to share with you are the immediate actions through the 12 parts of the lifestyle wellness wheel. So again, we have 4 pillars, which is mind, body, spirit, and environment. And so what I've done is I took 3 different actions for each pillar. So for your mindset, I want you to reword one negative thought. That is your goal. For meditation, I want you to find 5 minutes to breathe or meditate. And if that means taking a deep breath, sitting in the parking lot at work, or maybe in your own driveway, then I want you to do that. For journaling, I want you to pick a journaling practice that works for you. If that's going to be you take a Post-it note and you just jot down all your feelings and then you throw it in the trash, go for it. That's journaling. It's a way for you to get your emotions out. With regards to body, I want you to pick one plant-centered meal for the week. If you could do it every day, that's even better. But I want you to try if you're not doing it already, or maybe for you, you need to drink more water because water, most of us are dehydrated. And I won't name any names for people that I know. But you know what? Drink more water, eat a plant-centered meal. That's something that you can do. And then for movement, I want you to move for 10 minutes a day, please. Take 10 minutes and dedicated movement. Again, it could be cleaning up your house. It can be unpacking your clothes from a trip. It could be walking around the block, whatever it is for you. And for health, I want you all to figure out what your waist to hip ratio is. Okay. What is your waist to hip ratio? Okay. For spirit, I want you to laugh. I want you at least once this week to have a good, deep belly laugh to where tears are streaming down your face. And then you're going to feel so much better. And that's going to improve your spirit. And it's going to make you want to eat healthy. And it's going to make you want to think positive thoughts. And it's going to make you want to clean off the kitchen counters. Believe me, it works. Practice gratitude. I do mine before bed. So I encourage you, when you go to bed tonight, all right, like I said, I do 3 things. One of the last thoughts I want to have before I fall asleep is what I'm grateful for, whether it's a person, or it's the dogs, or it's something somebody did for me. Practice gratitude. The last next thing is going to be environment. That's our 4th pillar. I want you to clean your kitchen counters. Or if you're the type of person that stacks dishes in the sink, I want you to clean that out. Do that this week, because guess what? And I learned this from a podcast. It is from, I cannot remember her name, Dana White, I think her name is. And she's an organizer. And she said that if you need a quick win for the day to make yourself feel a little bit better, go clean off your kitchen counters. It's amazing, right? For sustainability, I want you to buy only the foods that you need. And I don't want you to have a lot of food waste. I want you to focus on this, okay? And the last thing I want you to do for our environment is I want you to spend 10 minutes in nature. So if you can do that every day, that's going to be fantastic. If not, you know what? At least once this week, please try to spend 10 minutes in nature. So here's my question to you. And if you want to share this in the chat, I would love it. What surprised you the most about what I shared with you today? Is there something you're like, oh, I'm doing that. I am totally doing that. I as soon as this call ends or by the end of the day, I'm doing that. If you would put that in the chat, let me know, what are you going to be doing? And again, as a reminder, I'm asking you this question. There's a delay before I see your responses. So don't think I'm ignoring you. I'm just going to drink my tea. So I see work-life balance. Yes, that is a problem for a lot of people. If you can take that and spin it around and try to find harmony in your life as opposed to balancing one or the other, then yes, that is something you can definitely work on. That's going to help make you feel better and feel less stressed out. Okay. I like the positivity. I see Jolene is going to eat a plant-centered meal. I love that. Thank you for doing that. Your body will thank you for doing that. And folks, when I say plant-centered, if you think about it, I love a good black and blue salad. So that's going to be a salad with some steak and a little bit of blue cheese. Not much because I'm lactose intolerant, so not going to do that. So that's plant-centered too. Chipotle is also plant-centered because unless you're getting double the meat, you're eating more plants than you are meat. I'm just saying. Let's see. Patrice. Yes. So Patrice can do the waist to hip ratio. Um, we've got to measure that. Yes, please, ladies, especially. For men, yes. You know what? There's a ratio for them too. I want to say is for women, it's 31 and a half. For men, I'm going to say 35-inch waist. And then the waist to hip ratio for men, I believe is 0.9. So yes. Sorry, my nose is a little stuffy. Okay. I'm going to go to our final slide, and that is going to be my QR code. So this is going to take you to my link tree, and in my link tree will give you access to all the good stuff. Upcoming events that I've got going on. So if you're not doing anything March the 2nd, I'm probably going to do another live here on YouTube. Or at least I'm going to upload a video about some herbal products that I have put together. I'm blending teas and I'm making some salves. So check that out. For those of you that live out of state, I have not worked out shipping yet. So for the first month or two, I'm just going to do local delivery only, and as I figure out the shipping nightmare that is going on right now. In March on the 20th, that's our spring equinox, folks. So that is the day we welcome in spring. And it's also the day I'm going to do a spring goal setting workshop. If you have a business, then definitely come on board for this. But if you just want to set goals for April, May, and June, come join for the goal setting workshop. That is going to be a Zoom only event, only because I encourage interaction and I want people to spend some time sharing some of the good things that they're going to be doing. And the last thing I've got, Earth Day in April. I'm going to celebrate that by doing an herbal remedies for stress reduction workshop. That will be a live event here on YouTube and probably on Facebook if I can. And that's going to be on April 22nd. So scan the QR code or go to my website, olivia-bell.com, and there'll be a link there. So now I'm coming back to you. I really want to say thank you all for being here. This was a lot of fun for me. And for being a part of my very first, my first live for YouTube. It's been an experience. And what I would like to share is if you are watching the recording on this, go to the description box below. You'll have the links to the Lifestyle Wellness Wheel, as also the links to any upcoming events that I have. So I'm going to, in the chat, I just added the link to Paper Bell. That's the company I use to track all my packages and everything like that. So with that, go ahead and click on that if you want to learn more about some of the packages that I have available. For those of you watching, please subscribe to my channel if you so desire, or share it with other people. More subscribers means more opportunities for me to do lives. The description box below will have all the information that you need if you want to subscribe and get notified. Click the little bell, because guess what? The bell will tell you, hey, Joanne's uploaded another video for Olivia Bell. That is all I have for you today. So thank you all for being here. I truly appreciate the opportunity to share lifestyle wellness with you. If I can be of any help, please reach out, whether that's through email. Again, that's Joe Swenson at olivia-bell.com. Or you want to direct message me. I'm on the social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest. You can shoot me a message there. I'm happy to respond. I do have some things that I will be uploading. And then I will make them available to you. And there'll be links and everything on social media. I try to be as active as possible. That doesn't always work, but I'm trying. So if there's anything you want to learn more about, anything that you can do more of or want to know more of, please by all means reach out. I'm very happy to help. I do offer a 30-minute strategy call. That's just a chance for us to chit chat. So if you've got questions and you need answers, just go ahead and schedule that. We usually do it on Zoom, but if you need to do it while you're driving home and you want to do it over the phone, we can do that too. I'm very amenable to, your schedules and things that you've got going on. So thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you all being here, and I will see you shortly. Bye.